30 minutes ago, but I had some minor issue with the internet. Let me check if we are live now. I don't see us live. Please let me know if you can hear and see me, and we will start this live stream then. Let me double check. Oh, yes, I'm here. I can see myself here. Let me open this one on my computer so that I will get your questions here. Yes, I will turn the sound off here. Oops, yes, sorry for that. So it looks like I'm live, and please let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. I will have some coffee. I apologize for starting later. I had minor issues with the internet. Everything is okay now. So in this live stream, I wanted to talk about international dating, and if it is something you should consider, something that can truly be beneficial for you. So often people romanticize the whole idea of having a relationship, and they romanticize international dating as well. Many men think that, okay, I'm not popular among very hot, much younger women in my country. So for sure, it has something to do not with my dating criteria and with my dating strategy. It has something to do with the country. So I have to change the country where I'm looking for a partner, and then all hot supermodels who are like 25 years younger will choose me back. No, it's not going to happen. Some women also choose international dating for all the wrong reasons. They think that, okay, I can't find a man who will solve all my problems in my country. So for sure, there must be men who will be super handsome, super successful professionally, kind, super good looking. And for sure, this man exists somewhere else, because in my country, I'm not on the radar of such people. And it's not a surprise that such people usually do not succeed with international dating or with local dating, because from the very beginning, what they are looking for and why they are looking for it in another country, well, it doesn't make much sense. Or someone is already writing me, good evening, Lady Svetlana. Greetings from Central Switzerland. I'm back to Germany, so greetings from Germany to you. I'll have some coffee while talking to you. So if we are talking about international dating, the whole concept of international dating is not for everyone. Why? Because to truly succeed in international dating, you have to be very curious about other countries and other cultures, and you have to find these differences, cultural differences, appealing and attractive. Some people, for them, it is difficult to start dating a woman or a man who lives in the same country but in another city or in another town, because she can speak with a slightly different accent if you're talking about a big country. Like even if you're in Ukraine, if you're talking about Russian and Ukrainian languages that are spoken in Ukraine, by the way people pronounce words and by the way people choose words, I can tell if she's from Odessa or if she's from Kharkov, or if she is a Russian lady who speaks Russian language, or if she's a Ukrainian lady who speaks Russian language. Or for example, if a person who speaks Ukrainian is from Poltava or from Ivano-Frankivsk, you can also tell it. So people who do not find such differences in, for example, language and in culture appealing, they will not succeed in international dating. And sometimes men, they think that, okay, I like the looks of Eastern European women because they pay particular attention to their looks, to the way they dress. But I want to date someone who, for example, has similar attitude to marriage and to money as, for example, women in, let's say, Sweden or US. For example, I'm looking for someone who is not looking for an official marriage, or who believe that it is okay to live without signing official papers. Um, in Ukraine, such attitude won't be very popular. Nobody talks about how difficult it is to date a Slavic women. It is not easy to build a relationship in any country if we're talking about serious relationship. Not easy. Why? Because you will have to invest time, you will have to invest effort there. And when you build a relationship with someone, it's not just you anymore. The two of you, and the two of you will have different visions about certain things and different ideas how things should be done. It's ridiculous to look for someone who will be on the same page with you about everything, who will agree with you about everything. So, if you are speaking about international dating, then people who choose international dating for all the right reasons, they actually find it appealing that there will be differences, that she represents another culture than my culture, and I will learn her traditions, she will learn my traditions. We will choose the best from each culture, and we will bring it into our relationship and later on into our marriage. People who choose international dating for all the right reasons, they understand that, okay, for example, my mother tongue is German, I'm fluent in English, her mother tongue is, for example, Russian or Ukrainian, she's bilingual, and she speaks good English, and we will use, for example, English at home, or we will use German at home. And you have to understand that if you are not a native speaker, even if you are, in German it is called fließend, in English fluent, if you are very fluent in the language, still you will be doing some mistakes, or maybe sometimes the words that you will choose, they won't be 100% accurate. So when people learning foreign languages, they enjoy exploring new cultures, they find it interesting, and they don't see it as an obstacle or a challenge that, okay, we will use several languages at home, and we will have to make sure that we actually understand each other. They see it as something that will benefit both of them, will benefit their relationship, and will make it so much more fun. Sometimes when ladies or gentlemen tell me that, oh, like this date is going to be boring, especially if we are talking about international dating, when you meet someone who represents another culture, of course, there is this risk that you won't like each other in person when you will be meeting on a date, that there won't be strong physical attraction. But to have a boring date with someone who knows so much about another culture because he represents it, and you can learn so much from this person, well, you have to be a very inflexible person, and a person who is not resilient and not curious at all to find a date with someone who represents another culture, like totally boring and a waste of time. It doesn't mean that you will live happily ever after that, but definitely you can learn a lot from each other. Hi, Svetlana. I'm very happy to see you safe after the Russian invasion in Ukraine. Yes, there is war in Ukraine, and probably for a few more months for Kharkiv area and for several other areas, it won't be safe to stay in Ukraine. And actually, our government advises to stay in central parts of Ukraine, in west of the country, or to stay at France somewhere in Western Europe. But we have no doubts that very soon Ukraine will win and we all will be able to return back home. Actually, many friends, my friends, they have returned already to Kiev, even though our government warns against it. But like staying for too long from home is not easy. And this brings us to another point about international dating. Very often people confuse tourism with immigration. And sometimes ladies tell me something like, oh, I want to date someone from Italy or from France because I have spent this splendid vacation in Italy and I loved the cuisine, I loved the weather, and all Italian guys were so handsome. For example, French songs are so romantic. So such women, they create this image of what this country is like and people in this country are like, and she likes this image in her head, and this image can have very little with reality. Same sometimes happen with gentlemen who saying that, okay, I like Ukrainian culture, I like Ukrainian women because, for example, Mila Kunis is hot, or I'm following this blogger and she is so beautiful, and they all must be very down to earth with traditional family values. So I'm going to date someone from Ukraine. And again, this man, he builds a certain picture in his mind, and reality can be very different from his expectations. Yes, in Ukraine we have many beautiful ladies, and it's true that sometimes people take it a little bit too extreme, how much time and effort they invest into their looks. And if, for example, you compare this beauty sphere that we have in Ukraine to, for example, Germany or the US, well, it's hard to find a place in Germany and in US where they will do your nails the same way they do it in Ukraine, because the level of these services in Ukraine is like very high. How they do it with all the materials, all the equipment. In Germany and in the US, not so good, unless it is like a place owned by a Ukrainian lady who has studied how to do nails in Ukraine. But we are not going to talk about nails. I'm just saying that in our country, in Ukraine, people pay huge attention to the way they look. There is strong competition. So this area, because of this competition and of course of all the demand, they know what they are doing. So sometimes men think that, okay, I will start dating a very attractive woman from Ukraine because they all are so attractive, and she will relocate to me to this tiny village in the US where you have to drive like 40 minutes to the next big city. And this very beautiful, very glamorous girl, she will fall for me and she will be extremely happy in this village. And of course, you can understand where the problem stands. His expectations, her expectations. I have a Ukrainian girlfriend from Bucha. She now in Spain. I just visited her in Spain. We know each other for years due to COVID, not being able to travel. We just met in person. Such a wonderful woman. 4 years, that's a long time. Uh, I don't know your situation, but 4 years, that's a lot. Uh, People, I assume, have started traveling sooner. But again, different people have different understanding of safety and if it was worth traveling during the COVID. But I'm happy that you and your girlfriend have reunited. 4 years, that's a lot. Usually, if it is just an online communication and you haven't met in person within these 4 years, it's exceptional that it lasted. So, truly exceptional. Again, we are returning to international dating. Another huge stereotype about international dating that men and women often have is that everyone wants to date, for example, an American, or everyone wants to date Ukrainian women, and people believe that they are of such high demand. Men in the West think that, okay, all Eastern European women want to date me because I'm from Canada or from the US or from UK. And some women saying that everyone wants to date me because I'm Ukrainian, and everybody knows that Ukrainian women, it's like a brand of beauty, of femininity. And the reality is, international dating is very niche, and the majority of people, they want to date someone who speaks their language, who lives in the same area, who knows local traditions, and with whom they have more connections in the sense that they went to the same university together, they went to school together, they have common friends. Then they feel that this relationship is more safe, more traditional in a way, and it is easier for them to understand their partner in such a relationship. So to choose international dating and to really enjoy dating someone who represents another culture, well, getting to know other cultures, traveling, learning foreign languages, being romantic, curious, and adventurous in a good sense of it, it all should be about you. If you are very traditional, if you like things the way you know them, then it will be very hard for you to actually enjoy international dating. Gentleman writes, I tried to chat with Ukrainian girls through a website designed to seek for serious relationship, but unfortunately I was banned because I put my country in data. I don't know which country you are from, and I don't know which website you are from. For your attention, my country is an Arabic country. Sorry, but I can't mention it here. What do you think? Why I was banned? I have no idea which website you were using, so I can't comment this one. So we return to our international dating and why it is not for everyone. As you probably know from our blog, if you have been followed us, if you have followed us for a while, you know that I love traveling and I travel quite a lot, and I have many friends, also including ex-clients whom we have introduced 10, 12, 5, 7 years ago, and they're still happily married. And getting to know new people, getting to know people who live in different places of this world, who work in very different fields, who represent very different traditions, but who are cosmopolitan and open-minded and truly curious about this world. Well, it was something I always enjoyed, and partly this is why I have chosen to work with this type of people, with such a crowd. And right now, when I'm recruiting ladies in Germany and in Poland for our database, new ladies, many women whom I'm meeting, they will never ever be happy in international relationship. Uh, yes, right now the situation is very complicated. Is a very complicated situation for everyone. Like, who could have predict like COVID or war? Like, you can't predict it. It's too ridiculous to predict it and to really believe that a madman from the bunker would attack a neighbor country. Like, nobody could really believe that this could happen. So yes, the situation is negative. But right now, when I'm meeting ladies, Ukrainian ladies who stand in Poland and Ukraine, everyone misses Ukraine, of course, but some people, they are more resilient, they are more flexible in a way that they try to learn the language, or they already know the language. They sign up for local gyms, they do some sightseeing. So they try to adjust their lives to the situation. And then I'm meeting people who are afraid to go grocery shopping, for example, because she doesn't know this grocery store, and she doesn't know the language, and she is afraid that people look funny at her, and she doesn't feel safe. And there are such men also, occasionally, very occasionally, at Diolli.com, when usually when we have clients traveling over, they are well traveled, but occasionally we had people for whom it was like the first trip overseas, or for example, the first trip to Eastern Europe, and they were so scared, thinking that everybody is going to like scam them, offend them. I don't know, that it is not safe to drink water in Ukraine. And of course, such people, for them, it will be very, very hard to enjoy international dating, because, Of course, it assumes that you will travel to meet each other, to be open-minded to learn another country and culture, and to actually enjoy it. I see some questions. Guys, does it make sense to you what I'm talking about? Do you agree, disagree? Perhaps you have a story to share. Sadly, my Olga broken up with me around 4 weeks before the Russian invasion, and I managed to make it to Ukraine and make sure to get her and her children to safety, but not before she lost other family. Oh, I'm very sorry about that she has lost family. And you are broken, and you are still broken up. I'm very sorry about that as well. Happy Labor Day in Ukraine. Actually, it's a Soviet holiday, and this time people, especially after all this situation now, I think even more Soviet holidays will be left in the past. But let's return to our topic. Let's return to international dating. So often, gentlemen, during first consultations or somewhere in the comments below my videos, they claim that all Ukrainian women want to leave Ukraine and they want to start dating a foreigner. Guys, it is so far from reality. And usually, as the reason why it is true, they claim that there are all these people at the dating sites. I think I once did a video with official statistic where we were talking about the number of population of Ukraine, males, females, singles, of which age groups. And we have found out that based on this statistic, comparing to the average people at the dating site, less than 4% from single female population is registered or even have ever heard about people at dating sites. And if you look at those websites closely, you will see that all the profiles, they are like carbon copies from one website to another website, and very often these photos have been stolen somewhere from Facebook, from Instagram. So those people, they have no idea that they are even registered there. They can be married, they can be Polish, Czech, not even Ukrainian. The photos can be old, so no, you can't claim that all Ukrainian women are at those paperless dating sites. Less than 5%, if we are talking about data about real numbers. And when I'm meeting ladies, for example, today I have met a lady, and she is, unfortunately for our clients, unfortunately for her, in a relationship with a gentleman from Norway. She has met him prior to the war, and she has met him online at some free platform. And this lady, she speaks several foreign languages. She is 41, very attractive, a medical doctor. She often goes to conferences in different countries. She is well traveled. She is curious about new cultures, countries, and she actually was taking a course in Germany when all this situation happened, and this is why she has stayed here to continue like getting that course. When I'm looking for ladies into our database, this is the type of people I'm looking. In a sense that she is open-minded, she is curious about different countries, and when she sees a foreigner, she doesn't see him as an alien, she sees him as a man. Yes, she understands that he speaks another language and there will be differences, and she is curious to learn all these differences, and she finds it romantic, she finds it interesting. And we were looking for such ladies in Kharkov when we were recruiting our database. In Kiev, of course. Right now, I'm hunting for such ladies in Western Europe because our clients who are looking for international dating, for serious relationship with a lady who represents another culture and country, they also are doing it for the right reason. And of course, they want to be introduced to someone who, just like them, is curious to learn more about different cultures, countries, traditions, foreign languages to bring this international atmosphere to the family. And of course, this experience, it is romantic because not like every day you go out on a date or you cross half Europe or the ocean to meet someone who speaks with an attractive accent and who has a very different background that you have. It's not for everyone. Uh, I even think that international dating has to come really from inside, not being just a buzz trend. I don't think that it is a buzz trend. Yes, I think like maybe 7 years ago, there were many companies, new companies, some online platforms that were promoting international dating, and people at the dating sites they also they have showed to many for Western men in Western Europe that you can date out in United States and Canada, that you can date outside of your country. If we are speaking about Western Europe, here like borders pretty much like just yesterday we drove from Poland to Germany, and you pass the border, and if you're not following your navigator, you won't even notice it till you see that, for example, all the signs are no longer in Polish, they are in German language. When you're traveling from Holland to Germany by car, and the language, it sounds quite similar, and the spelling is quite similar, it will take you a while to notice that you have crossed the border. So here you can see more mixed couples. For example, the area where I stand in Germany, there is a huge Turkish diaspora, and there are many mixed couples as well. This is my type of people. I like it when there are many different traditions and many languages among the circle of friends and in the family. Uh, how many women are still in your database since where, and how many of your ladies have given up because of lack of dates? I can't tell you the exact number because just like in Kharkov, when I always was asked this same question, the answer is that even if I tell you the exact number, I open our database and see how many profiles are registered in our closed database, it won't give you any understanding on how many women from this database will match your criteria and will be willing to date you. Because usually when a gentleman reaches out to us and we start discussing the criteria, what he is looking for example, he wants to meet a lady who is, let's say, 33, 38 years old, someone never married, someone who doesn't have kids from previous relationship, someone who speaks English, someone who wants to have kids, someone who has university degree, someone who is not taller than 5'7", someone who will date him. He's, for example, 5'8", so not very tall for a guy, and he is, let's say, 7 years. He looks for someone who is like 10 years younger than he is. So the question will be how many women from our database will match this criteria, will share his values, and will find him attractive, and will find that he has all the qualities they are looking for. And of course, this number won't be several thousands of people, because once you will start interviewing ladies for this exact client, ladies who match, let's call it, all the hard criteria, I mean, age, education, level of English, desire to have kids, and the fact that she doesn't have kids yet. Even among these ladies, you will see that, for example, this girl, she has very different understanding about the gender roles in the family than our client. Or, for example, this lady, she wants to pursue a career, and this gentleman, he wants to date someone who will put his career first, because, for example, he's relocating a lot because of his job. So, of course, his partner, she won't be able to build a career on one place, or she will have to do it remotely and be flexible. So the exact number, it won't give you an idea how many women will be willing to date you. But yes, usually to set a client on one date, we can end up interviewing about 20 candidates. If we are not talking about a request with a big age gap, for example, a gentleman wants to date someone like who is his age, 5 years younger, then it can be about 20 candidates to pre-select one lady. So to schedule, let's say, 5 dates, 5 introductions, it can be about 100 of interviews. So we have to have this 100 ladies who match all their so-called hard criteria, like hard skills in HR. And among them, we will be looking for someone who will share his values, who will find his photos attractive, and who is looking for similar things. So international dating, it's not a way to date up or marry up, as some men and women call it. It's a way to expand your pool of candidates and to try something new. Yes, it is usually way more romantic than local dating, but again, for people who enjoy learning more about new cultures, meeting people who represents new cultures, traveling, who like the variety. If you like traditions, like very strict traditions, and you believe that a lady has to change everything about her to fit into your box, uh, pretty much you will face a disappointment. Or I think there is another comment. Do I remember correctly that record man of number of interviews for pre-selection of a single introduction was 82? I think it was even more. The recent number, yes, it was about 82. Once we had a gentleman and over 90 ladies said no, based on his photo. But again, he wanted to date women who were way more attractive than he was. So on the level of attractiveness, he wanted to date someone much younger and much more attractive. So it was not easy, but we have actually set him up on dates, and he was even in relationship with a girl for almost 2 years, and he didn't end up marrying her. He thought that he could have aimed for someone younger and more good looking, and 4 years after that story, he actually has contacted us again and asked to introduce him to someone much younger and more hotter. So yes, that's partly our job to hear all the no's that ladies are saying. 82, it was among recent interviews. Last year, we have been interviewing ladies for a client, and this guy, it was with 90 rejections. I think it was about 7 years ago, about 7, maybe 6. Time flies. It was very, very important to me, and it truly warmed my heart when people, clients whom we have matched like 10, 12 years ago, they were reaching out to us and asking, how are you, Svetlana? How is the team? How is that manager, this manager? And we have introduced them like 12 years ago, 11 years ago, and they still remember about us. Of course, not all couples do so, but the majority, it was so pleasant. I even can't find the right words to express to you how much it meant to me and the team. So international dating. International dating, it's a fun way to meet someone truly special. It's a fun way to bring more colors, more flavors into your life, into your relationship that you will build with this lady. But it is not a solution when you are extremely not popular among women back home, and you want to date someone who's way out of your league, like 25 years younger, for example, or she has model looks and you've never seen the gym inside, only from the outside, so it won't happen. Your service offers dating that hopefully ends in marriage. Okay, how many divorces has happened from your business? Actually, over 13 and a half years, we never had any divorces. So I don't want to bring bad luck. In Ukraine, we do so. We knock the wood, and we don't want to bring bad luck. It's a superstition, yes, but it's a foreign superstition. Do people break up before they even get to the stage of proposals? Yes. We have matched couples who have been, for example, dating for 6 months or even for 1 year, or who have lived for 2 years together, but they didn't get officially married. This happened. But to marry officially and to get a divorce, no, it never happened. Why? Because people who hire us are usually smart about their dating choices. If they build a relationship, usually they listen to all our dating tips and advice, so they do it wisely. They actually choose smart dating. People who hire us but decide to neglect all our dating tips and advice, usually they don't build a relationship. They get similar results that they are getting back home when they apply same strategies, and they underestimate the importance of all the dating tips and advice that we provide them with. That's wonderful news. Yes. Best way to test the strength of a relationship is to live together. If you can do that, then I can last. If Usually, I do not recommend women to agree to live together before the marriage. If she wants to get officially married and it is truly important to her, then she should get the ring first, a proposal to get engaged, and then, as a fiancé, please move in together. Because sometimes, unfortunately, quite often, guys are all around the globe, they got lazy. They think that, okay, I got a girl and she now lives with me. I get all the benefits of having a girlfriend, a wife, but I won't marry her. And in such scenarios, like, it works for a few months, sometimes for a few years, until the lady understands that a gentleman doesn't want to get married. And then she understands that she has wasted her time, and both parties lose time and have to experience heartbreak in a way. With international dating, of course, it happens very, very occasionally when people don't want to get married officially. And we have matched such couples over the years. I can even tell you that it has been 6 couples who live together for more than 5 years, but they don't want to get married officially. And from the very beginning, when were taking the gentleman over as a client, he said that I don't want to get married officially. So when we were looking for matches, we have warned ladies, and we were looking for this type of ladies who believe that love doesn't need an official marriage certificate, and they want to be boyfriends and girlfriends. So, like in that song, if you like it, put a ring on it. So usually it takes, I would say, 6, 8 months of dating to actually understand if you're on the same page about all the important things, if your values align, if your long-term goals align. If it happens, then of course you should get engaged and should enjoy this stage of a relationship. A relationship should have a development. To live together, if you both are 22, and we had such a couple, here is our youngest client, I think. He was 22 or 23 when we have introduced him to his girlfriend. and they have been dating for a few years. Then they had a very long engagement till they got officially married. In their case, it works. But if we're talking about a lady who is, let's say, 29 or 32 or 36, and marriage is important to her, she wants to get married officially. And in Ukraine, in our society, usually marriage is important. Official marriage is important both for men and for women. And then living with someone for 40 years, what for? You can learn everything you need to know about each other within the first 6, 8 months, or within the first year of a relationship. А, Здравствуйте, Светлана, слава богу, в безопасности. Unrealistic expectations of most men kept me from becoming a matchmaker, but doing relationship consulting instead. Great stream today. Unrealistic expectations, it's managing unrealistic expectations. It's an important part of my job. Managing both unrealistic expectations of men and women. I have written and published 3 books for women, and I'm working right now on 2 more books because doing it for almost 13 years, both parties need to calm down and to actually get a grasp with the reality. Many men usually have these unrealistic expectations about the age of the woman or how she should react to him. Many women have this Cinderella syndrome, or right now, like modern Cinderella is Anastasia Steele from 50 Shades of Grey. But that's our job, to spread the love. Of course, we can't cure all unrealistic expectations. We can help only those men and women who want to be helped. Usually, people hire us for this exact reason. But matchmaking is a tough job. So, like every year at Matchmaking Institute in New York, there are like 100 of people who get a license, and usually next year you go to the conference and there are like 2, 3 who are still in the business. People think that's a glamorous and easy job. It is not. It is not. Uh, it is very exhausting in a sense, because you work with people and emotions are involved, and people can get too emotional. Sometimes when, for example, a lady says no to a second date with a gentleman, and for him it's the end of the world. How come she said no? Like, all women have to choose me back. But for me, one of the best decisions was to actually get psychologist on board, Lisa, then the other psychologist, and I work with the team, so we try to reduce stress by doing teamwork. But I love what I'm doing. I love people watching. I love creating couples. I get inspiration out of people. I've watched you now for a couple years. You always speak of looks, but Holly Berry, long list of people, asked many times how those looks really matters when looks fade over time. Um, Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I can tell you that when I show one photo of a lady, like to several men, for example, if you do this experiment, one gentleman will claim that she's the hottest woman ever. The other man will call her plain. The third will tell that he is not sure. Someone will claim that she might have been hot if she was blonde, for example. So beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and smart people understand that beauty is a package deal, like her personality, her attitude to life, to relationship. And also, we like people who like us back. If she doesn't find you attractive and you see it that she is bored with you, you will find her less attractive at the end of the day, of the date. Yes, some people, both men and women, they pay too much attention to the way their partner should look, how she should look, what her voice or his voice should sound like, and they waste lots of time, precious time, and they get lots of disappointment, tons of disappointment and heartache because they pay attention on the things that, after all, don't matter that much. Yes, it is a challenge. Lol, I agree. Everyone is delusional in a way, and it's much make a job to give a reality check without hurting their feelings. Sometimes it is impossible not to hurt their feelings, and sometimes you have to be honest. And we have built our blog on being brutally honest. And I write my books in which I write honest scenes for women. And one lady, she has given me the feedback to my book that 3 times she wanted to throw it and hit the wall with it because she understands with her mind that what I write is true, but she doesn't want to believe into it. And she is actually, uh, she went to all my book signing, I guess, and she has bet she has bought many books for her female friends, telling that, oh, she desperately needs to read that one. So we all from time to time have delusional expectations of what it should be like. I have met a woman here in Germany, and she has relocated temporarily from Ukraine, and she was very upset that Germans don't speak Ukrainian. And she said that they should have learned some Ukrainian, knowing that Ukrainians are coming over. What can you tell to a woman like that, except from like rolling your eyes and doing a face palm? Like, some people are delusional about life. Some people are delusional about relationship. Uh, Fortunately or unfortunately, I have worked with many very successful professionally men and women who have totally unrealistic, totally childish and infantile perception uh, and expectations what love should be like, what relationship are like, what should it feel like to be in love or to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. So that's my job, to bring some reality back to their life. And with these realistic expectations, they can truly meet someone and have their happily ever after. Uh, it's a tough job, period. Yes, it's a tough job. It's a tough job, but it's very interesting. I have been doing it for 13 years and a half, and sometimes after another breakdown of a grown-up man or a woman, I feel like, okay, I'm done with it. I will just write the books and probably host the blog, but it happens very occasionally because when you see photos of kids who were born because you have introduced their parents, you understand that it was all worth it. And I was talking not so long ago to a couple. They were one of the first couples I have matched, and they are married for over 10 years. It must be 12 years, I think. And they were sending photos of their kids. They have 3 kids now. And when I see those pictures, and you look at that at their son, who is now I think 11 or 12, but he is a tall boy. So you see it, you look at him, and I was just asking myself, how come so much time went by? They have big kids now, and I have helped them meet, and almost in every country, like in Europe, in most big cities, there are couples whom we have introduced. So it is very, very rewarding, but it is very tough. It is very tough, and you have to really love people and love what you are doing. It's not for everyone. Uh, Hi, Svetlana. I'm from New York City. I'm curious, does Imbra apply if I sign up for your agency? We don't exchange contact information online, so Imbra doesn't apply to us because We are an offline matchmaking service, and even now, when we introduce, for example, by Zoom or Skype, we do not exchange contact details in a sense that we don't sell phone numbers or email numbers. So no, it doesn't apply to us. Do you have specific days, times when you conduct your consultations? Yes, you can send us the request. You can email us at Svetlana@Diolli.com, or you can fill in the request form at our website, Diolli.com. And we will schedule a first free consultation with me. We will talk about you, about the lady whom you would like to meet. And after that, pretty much we will tell if we can introduce you to such a lady or if we unfortunately cannot do that. If you are from New York City, we are officially registered in the US, so we pay taxes there. That's expensive, but I like doing everything officially. Many men who stay on the paper letter dating sites are convinced that young, beautiful women want them, but those are not real women, mostly predators, scammers. So yes, reality is needed. The funny thing is that over the years, we have worked with a very little number of men who have actually used paper letter dating sites. In a sense, we have attracted clients who have never been there. So they have fallen in love with international dating because they travel a lot, they have worked in Eastern Europe or in Western Europe, or they work with someone who has Eastern European background. Or, for example, his brother, best friend is married to a Ukrainian lady. And many our clients, they have Slavic background. For example, their parents have relocated to the US or to Israel, or grandparents have relocated. Some of my clients, yes, they have used paper letter dating sites for like a few days. They have understand that it's total garbage. And there is no way a 19 years old blonde wearing just a bra and tiny panties can be interested in a 54 years old divorced father of two. So usually we are lucky to work with sane people. Of course, from time to time, I get a consultation with a man who claims that for 6 years he has been in a relationship from a woman from this website that is called some Natasha's Big Boobs or Hot Ukrainian Girls, something like that. I have made up the names of these websites, but I'm quite sure such things exist. And they are repulsive. Well, some guys go to strip clubs and they claim that all the strippers are in love with them. And they dance only for him, not because he is tipping her generously, but because she really likes him. So people choose to believe what is easier for them. But usually, if a man has been using a paper letter dating site for more over a year, we didn't take him as a client. We are quite picky whom we are taking as clients because their expectations are delusional, and their ideas what real women look like are delusional. When they send these photos and you look at that picture and you tell, like once I have even explained to that man that if it was possibly humanly possible to have a tiny waist like that and such huge boobs like the girl in the picture, her back would have broken into two. So it's physics. It's impossible. It's just Photoshop. She looks like a cartoon character from this Japanese anime. So that's not possible. By the way, I love your live streams. It's interesting to actually talk to real people because usually when I'm filming in the office, it's just me and my operator, and there is no audience. So it's just me talking to a camera. By the way, Sasha can, our operator, our cupid with the camera, he will start editing videos. So I should start filming something. Not just holding my camera up front and doing some better looking videos like I'm used to. So hopefully I will start doing this week. But last week I have spent most of last week working days in Poland. So I really didn't have time for filming, but I miss this process. Uh, yes, it is not possible to help all people. And even when a potential client promises to pay you, like to double your fee, but you see that you can't deliver him what he's looking for, you don't take such clients. Uh, because if, for example, we go through our base and we talk to women, and I understand that I won't have anyone who is like 20 years younger than he is who will be willing to date him for all the right reasons, I won't be able to deliver him the dates. So we say no. Before we take a client, we always discuss the criteria, we put them into the agreement, then we introduce a client to the ladies who match this criteria. Over the years, it has happened to us, I think, 2 or 3 times over certain years, when a gentleman went out on dates and he said that, and now I want to date someone 20 years younger. But in the contract, it stands that he's dating ladies from the age group who are, for example, 5, 7 years younger, not 20. And then he claimed that, oh, but I thought that you would see how hot and useful I am when I actually come to Kharkov, that you will change your mind and reconsider. We sign a contract with each client for a reason, because we put there all the criteria so that the client knows what to expect from us, and we also know that the client knows that there are his responsibilities, our responsibilities, what is going to happen if this happens, if that happens. So I like having agreements, official agreements. I like working officially, and I hate giving false expectations. So when we take occasionally a client who is looking for someone much younger, we always warn that it will be not easy, and I can't give guarantees that after the first date the lady will say yes to a second date. If, for example, he is dating 20 years younger, and I can give all the tips and advice how he can increase his chances. But it is up to him to take my advice, to actually implement those advice, or to neglect them. So I can't control how he acts on dates. Here in US, people have gone plastic surgery crazy. I know that it is like women not do this much, or maybe they do not sure. Unfortunately, some women also like plastic surgeries. I prefer natural type of looks, but again, it's the matter of personal preference. Um, I don't like it when very young girls try to become the next Kardashian. I don't think it is attractive, but we are living in the free country, so everyone can do what they find what they find attractive, and what pleases them. I am very open and honest. I use people at dating sites and went through that stage. Delusional is being kind. I actually ended up Skyping with someone, and she asked for money to help her father, who is in jail. Uh, oh, I can tell you a story about people at dating sites. I was pregnant with my daughter. I think it was 8 months of pregnancy, so I was heavily pregnant already. And somebody has written me on Instagram that, hi, you have cute photos. Do you want to rent them to this dating website, and we will present you with a free photo shoot? And actually, on my Instagram, there is lots of information that I am a Cupid, what I do professionally. But I think that people didn't even bother to check my Instagram. They just saw the profile picture. And I have decided to actually like answer them. And I have answered like, sure, but I'm like 8 months pregnant and I'm officially married. And they have written me that, oh, it's okay. We can take, you can get your free photo shoot and free pictures after you give birth. And right now you can send us your old photos from your Instagram account. Of course, I have blocked them, and I think we have laughed in the office about the situation, and I have blocked those people. But again, you can't judge the whole dating industry. Like in the United States, there are like many my colleagues who really do a very good job, and they introduce many couples, and they help many singles change their attitude to dating, to relationships. So hiring a professional matchmaker and hiring a professional dating coach is truly an investment. But again, you should choose a professional. Same with choosing a good psychologist, good dietologist. It is important to double check what you are using. With paper-led dating sites, I have no doubts that it is possible to meet someone if you know how to use it wisely. Same as Tinder. Have you watched this Tinder Swindler? I did a video about that one. So I know people who have met their now wives and husbands on Tinder. Like not many. I know people who were very disappointed after using that platform. So it depends on your attitude, how you use it. My 15 years old nephew in Kiev was offered to chat on behalf of women from those websites. He was looking for a job. Well, my friend in United States, she's actually from Kazakhstan, but she studied in the United States, and then she got a job, and she works in the United States for many years. She has met this guy in Starbucks, and he told her that he is like this business owner and he runs a model studio, and she's so pretty in the US, and she should send him his pictures, and he has even given her like the link to his website. And turned out that it was like sex online, or how do you call it, when you enter certain like rooms and women undress. And that girl, she has PhD, so she's like very, very smart. But I think she was flattered that a guy from the model agency or model company has showed some interest. So, guys, I think I can take one or two more questions about international dating and if it is for everyone, not for everyone. And after that, we will wrap it up. Oops, let me see if it is actually working. Yes, I think, oops, yes. I'm doing it from my phone, and here is my computer so that I can see your messages. Because we have been talking for an hour already. That's quite a lot of talking. How do you screen women and men for your service? I can tell you that at first, both ladies and gentlemen, they fill in the request form at our website. And we have two separate websites, one in Russian Ukrainian language for ladies and another in several languages for gentlemen. So when we get this first request, in that request, we ask for the age, the name, the country of living, and profession. At our request for ladies, we also ask to send us the link to her social media. And at first, our manager will go through all this data. We will Google the person, yes. And we cut maybe half of the requests that we get at this stage after Googling the person and checking like the country of living, age, and social media. Why? Because, for example, he or she is from the area. I understand that I won't have ladies who would be willing to relocate to a tiny town in Nigeria, for example, or she is from the east of Russia, and before the war, we were scheduling the dates only in Kharkov. So we have told all the ladies, all potential prospects, that you will have to travel for a date to Kharkov. Or we have already experimented with it during COVID. We were taking ladies, English-speaking ladies who live in Western Europe, to introduce to our clients who want to have Zoom dates. So after this request form, we send the questionnaire, both for a gentleman and for a lady. We get more information. If after Googling this person, we find everything appropriate, suitable, that everything matches our criteria. And after this questionnaire, we see more information about the lady and the gentleman, and then we can say no. For example, at the moment, we are not taking ladies into our database who do not speak English or any other foreign language because it doesn't make much sense since we will be doing introductions now in Western Europe, and we do introductions now, first introductions by Zoom. So if she doesn't speak any languages at all, I won't have clients who will be willing and interested in meeting her. Also, we don't take ladies who have more than 2 kids because also underage kids, small kids. I also didn't have clients over certain years who would be interested in meeting such ladies. And of course, uh, face control. If a gentleman or a lady doesn't take care of his or her looks, is severely overweight, unfortunately, I won't have anyone who will be seriously interested in dating this person. And after that, we will schedule the interview. Ladies go through the interview with our psychologist, and then we put them into the waiting list. We request also some ID, and if we have certain doubts, we can schedule 2 interviewers. And if a person has been married, we will ask for a divorce certificate, or right now it's the statement from the court that she or he is divorced. So pretty much during the first consultation, that usually lasts like 30 minutes to 40 minutes, you can learn a lot about a person if you know which questions to ask. And some people don't make the cut after such interviews, but usually um, if you have certain doubts about this or that lady or gentleman, once he is talking to our manager, even before they have the interview with a psychologist or a matchmaker, they don't make it till the interview with psychologist and matchmaker because we don't want to waste their time and we don't want to waste our time. Are the fees different on services offered? Based on the number of days that we will schedule, based on the coaching hours, and based on the number of hours that we will invest into the process. If the gentleman is looking for someone who is like 20 years younger, never married, blue eyes, blonde hair, I understand that I will need an additional recruiter and the manager who will work only for this client, and we will have to do more interviews, like 80 interviews, like we had this record breaker gentleman. So yes, it's going to be more expensive because more people will work with one client and we will invest more time, more hours into this work. But we offer just several price packages, and you can email us at Diolli.com or fill in the request our website, and we will send you more information, including our standard contract where you can learn more about the pricing. Guys, one more question and I will wrap it up till the next week. This week I will film more videos that will be edited and cut. I have already prepared the topics, just need the time now and some assistance to film it. So one more question, maybe two. Next live, we will try to do it next Sunday, but I will do an announcement beforehand since I'm traveling right now quite a lot, and it's not easy when you travel with a toddler to find the time during the daytime. But I enjoy our live streams. I get lots of inspiration for new videos, for new content, which we have been creating for 7 years and a half already. I mean, this YouTube channel. Veronica, it's a pity that you have decided to quit matchmaking, but I'm happy to hear that you like it and you feel content with consulting and with running a YouTube. But matchmaking, it's not easy. Like being in this profession for so long, like I have told you before in this video, like every conference I attend, especially the one at Matchmaking Institute, where people are getting certification, like every year you see this crowd of people who want to be matchmakers and who want to be like VIP matchmakers, premium matchmakers, and then next year you don't see them anymore. So it happens because people are peculiar creatures, and when emotions are involved, and especially when fragile male ego is involved, it's a tough job. I hope you do more live streams when you get the time. I hope we will do it a weekly tradition. I also like it, and I get lots of inspiration out of it. I will do more videos. I have prepared some interesting topics this week, but I'm working right now on 2 new books, and it also takes time. We have evacuated many books to the west of Ukraine and also to Poland and Germany. So very soon I hope to play them on Amazon, but for now my books in Russian language. But I'm working right now on something in English, so it will be something new, interesting experience. Guys, thank you so much for being with me. Like 71 minutes. Wow. Are you still here? Haven't you fallen asleep? Who is still here and who is enjoying this live stream? Please write me something so that I know that I'm not just talking to two screens and I'm talking to real people. Because it feels strange to talk to the camera and I'm on your side. Besides contact info, you will send us the request, and our manager Katerina, she will email you tomorrow a questionnaire with questions so that we can get prepared to the interview with you. And also, she will answer all your organizational questions, and she will schedule us a call. It's all good. I've never actually done it. I just decided to stick with relationship consulting, especially because many people need help after they are matched and married. Good luck with all. Yes, after two people say yes to each other, yes, I do, they still have to continue working on their relationship and marriage. Most of the couples whom we have introduced over the years, they call us for some tips. I think within the first year after we have introduced them and they got married. So first year after they are officially married, they still call us, text us, our psychologist and myself, and we never say no. We always try to help if we can do it. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me. I have almost finished my coffee. Oh, my Mini Cooper is here with me. Actually, it was quite fun to drive it from Poland to Germany. So I have my car here with me. So I'm not carless here. Yes, a smartphone message here you can write a certain question. Usually people write a question if they have a certain question they want to get an answer to. You can fill in all the information, sends the message, and Katerina will email you the questionnaire and will discuss with you the time based on your time zone, my time zone for a Skype consultation. You are doing amazing, all things considered. It's important to keep going. That strong Ukrainian women spirit. Thank you. I have invested almost 14 years into Diolli, and many people, not just myself, my team, Katerina, Alessa, all the girls who have been with me during these years, Irina, Tatiana, our operator Sasha, even our driver Alex, they all have invested a piece of their heart into our matchmaking service. So I won't let a madman ruin it. And this world, it needs love. It needs lots of love. And all the couples that we have created over the years, they are the proof that what we are doing is very, very important. If we can help 150 more people to meet someone special, and if we can help create 150 more couples, it will be our investment into making this planet a better place. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me. I hope it all makes sense to you. Talking for 76 minutes. Wow, that's a lot. I will treat myself with another coffee. I will see you all next Sunday, and this week I will share with you some new videos. If you come up with some questions, please write them below this video so that I can write an article or devote a new video to your question, because very often people feel afraid to ask a question, and once one brave guy or woman ask it, there are like many people who feel happy to get the answer because they wanted to ask the very same question. Bye guys, thank you for watching. I will find what to press. I think this one. Oops.